But if the guy who I'm talking about is watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm going to hell because I'm totally gonna make a video about this one day. Our date made quality content, so I'm guessing we at least got that out of it. Okay. Okay, let's do this. What's up, it's me, Maddie Key, and today I'm back with another video. So I asked my very small amount of Twitter followers what video they wanted to see, what kind of story time that they wanted to do. The options I gave them, I will read off to you now. I said, if I made a story time video, what would y'all want it to be about? A terrible date I had when I worked at Starbucks, coming out, and living in NYC at 16. What got the most was a terrible date I had. Okay, so, terrible date I had. So, as an FYI, if you just didn't see on the tweet, I am pansexual. Pansexuality is like basically being sexually fluid. I'm gonna say the big words, guys. You're not just sexually driven, you're more feelings driven, with like sex totally still being a thing. It was really awkward to say on camera. And you could see the ring light in my glasses, but I need to see. So we're just gonna go with it. In the beginning I did come out as fully lesbian, but over the years I have had rendezvous with guys too, but I definitely am more girls driven. I would date more girls, I plan to marry a woman, and yeah. So it's like 95-5. 95 girls, 5% guys. I'm not trying to make a big coming out video and start crying and stuff because that's totally not my jam. But yeah, I am a gay human being. So I meet this guy online. Let's call him, I want a funny name, Edwin. Ooh, I like that. Okay, we're gonna call him Edwin. And we meet online, and I realize he works across the street from me, so I'm like, oh, whoa, this is crazy. This was the first guy I had gone on a date with in like around a year, so it was like weird for me because I was like, I really just like girls, and like, but we like connected. We like, so we started like DMing, and then like the DMs turned into texts. And then like we were texting for 3 days before we went on this date, and it was like everything was super connecting. Like all of the questions I was asking him were like answers I would have too. 3 days later, like I have to put that in here, 3 days later, we go on our date. If you ever heard of Top Golf, I live in Dallas, so we have like 2 or 3 Top Golfs. And so I tell him, let's go to Top Golf. That'll be super casual, like we could just play around and not be like all serious, like dressy at a nice restaurant sort of thing. So I meet him there after work. I'm just wearing like jeans and a t-shirt, just chilling. And I was really nervous. Reasoning why I was nervous is because earlier that day, I went in and asked my twin sister about him. And I was like, hey, I'm going on a date with this guy today. I'm super nervous, but like I think it's gonna be really good. Like we connect really well through text, and like I'm digging it. And I should have known to do a call or FaceTime, I feel like, before, and I'll get to that in a second, but just know like I really should have done a call or FaceTime before this date. But my sister looks at me and she's like, OMG, that's blah blah blah's ex-boyfriend, they just broke up, like this is gonna be such a bad date, like he just left blah blah blah. And I was like, oh my goodness, like Edwin, you're crazy, like you're literally just going on a date with me right after you break up with a girl. But like at the same time, that's what I was doing too, so I was like, I'll let it slide. So I go, so I walk in, and I'm actually dressed really gay. Like I had like this skinny jeans on with like a total like band tee, and like my hair like all curly and messy, then like awesome sunglasses. I walk in and he's wearing like the total, if you are from Dallas, you know this look by heart, total like khaki shorts, Sperry's, golf shirt, like sweeped back hair, literally the whole frat boy package. Like I'm sitting there like quaking because I'm like, I hate people like this. And like the photos I've seen on his profile is like some of them look edgy, and so I was like, oh, like he's probably like edgy like me, has like an edgy style, and like the things he was telling me seemed more edgy than like clean cut hello. I walk up and he's like, Madison, and this is the first time I heard his voice. And I don't know if you remember, probably do because it was like 40 seconds ago when I said I really should have called or FaceTimed him first. The minute he opens his mouth, he sounded very like, it was very high-pitched. It was like a high-pitched Matthew McConaughey. So like all the unhot parts of Matthew McConaughey, like his accent voice sort of thing is only hot because it's deep. When it's high-pitched, definitely not a wig, I'll tell you that. I'm pretty much sitting there shook. I'm like, I'm gonna have to listen to this for at least an hour, and I don't know how I feel about that. So, also, Edwin, if like, his name's not actually Edwin, but if the guy who I'm talking about is watching this, I'm so sorry. Our date made quality content, so I'm guessing we at least got that out of it. So he's like, I haven't been to Topgolf in forever, oh my goodness. And I was like, I go to Topgolf all the time because my dad loves it. I'm about to kick your butt, like, you wait. And I did. I think I beat him. We did 2 games. I beat him like 40 points over, and one of the times I accidentally played on his profile, and so it was only 20 points over because I scored him 20 points. And the thing is, like, he wasn't like flirty about it. He would just let me win, and I hated that because I was like, no, like, give me some competition. And he just wouldn't. He was like, oh, you won, good job. And I'm like, okay. And so 40 minutes into the date, like, Topgolf, the bay that you sit in, like, that's where you like play the golf, it has like a couch and like a coffee table. And so I'm like laying on the couch, and he comes over after like hitting a shot. He's like in the middle of his shots, and he sits down and he like looks at me and like grabs my thigh. I'm like, I just want to get close for this because I just want you guys to feel the feeling I felt whenever he told me this. So he gets up really close and he looks me in the eyes and he goes, I could be a really good boyfriend for you. Like, I really think you should think about it, and maybe by like our 3rd date we become official, because like, I think I could be a really good boyfriend for you. High-pitched Matthew McConaughey voice telling me all of this, and I don't even want to try it because I'll butcher it, because it was that bad and so unique on its own that it just needs to be his. So I'm like jaw dropped. I was so put off, and I was so like confused because this was 45 minutes into him knowing me, like, as a person, like seeing me, human interaction, and I'm like, how can you come to the consensus that fast? Because I barely come to the consensus by the 3rd date with me. So like, I'm just a little confused. My response to him saying all of that was like, cool, I'll think about that, totally. Just like trying to stay chill, while on the inside, my insides are literally burning, and I'm like, I'm going to hell because I'm totally gonna make a video about this one day, and I'm gonna tell everybody that I know that this happened. So Edwin goes back up and he's like playing the golf again, and I just ask a lighthearted question like, hey, if you could pick Chick-fil-A or Cane's. Now if you're from Texas, you know that that is a very important question. I'm both ways. I am just all about equality, the chicken finger industry, but I mean, Chick-fil-A's like nugs and sandwiches, and then like Cane's is like fingers and toast. So like, you can't go wrong either way. Cane's is more filling, Chick-fil-A is more on the lighter side, but still really good. So I ask him that, he looks at me and he goes, well, whenever I did eat that nasty sort of junk food, I would definitely say more of a Chick-fil-A. I think he said, I'm pretty sure he said Chick-fil-A. Don't quote me on this, Edwin. Don't come after me, Edwin, I'm so sorry. Then he continues to go, I'm actually a vegan. And I think I just about buried myself in my own grave for even agreeing to go on a date with this person. I was playing through all of the emotions I was feeling and really asking myself if they were real, and completely just losing my sense of focus as he's talking more about his veganism and I'm growing more to hate him. Then I know I'm not gonna eat, because in the area of Dallas that we were, there are no vegan restaurants. It's like super southern, and it's like, no, like there's not gonna be a vegan restaurant or a place that has vegan options anywhere. So I'm like, great. This date was from 5 to 8, prime time dinner hours. So then I'm trying to figure out what to do. We finished our Topgolf games, it's been an hour. And so I say, hey, let's go to Arbor Hills. If you guys don't know what Arbor Hills is a huge park. It's a nature preserve. And basically, like, it's so in depth. Like, you could go so deep into the park that, like, people could totally get murdered or kidnapped there. And, like, remember, I'd only known this guy for an hour, and I'm just like, let's go. So basically all my friends are saying I was super risky, and they said that was a really ballsy move because they didn't want to die either. But I let him. So I hop in his car, he opens the door for me. Like, okay, points on like the chivalry. He had an A++. Like, Edwin, you are a great chivalrous guy. Like, truly you are. And like, I really hope you find this girl that you're looking for, that you really want to be your girlfriend, because I bet y'all are gonna be so in love and sappy and cute, but it's just not me. I just can't take your Matthew McConaughey with helium voice, and I just couldn't, and I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry for everything I'm saying, because I know it's harsh, but that's just my life. As we're driving, he starts telling me about a positivity seminar that he went to. I just have to let all of these sink in because they're just so different from my standards. And I'm not lying, I think he taught, it was a 4-day positivity seminar, and they really got into self-growth and development and how to make every day, how to live every day extremely happy. And I was just like I think those are BS. Like, I completely do. So I couldn't, like, I didn't want to listen to it. I just thought it was complete BS to me. And I didn't want to be like, this is total trash to me, and what you're saying is making me want to physically close and lock my ears and throw the key out the window. He's explaining the whole thing about how he's thriving and how this was the most life-changing experience that he's ever had, and he just feels renewed and stuff like that. And it's just going in depth about ideals that I don't agree with, but the positivity seminar agrees with. That was most of our conversation, was me not agreeing with something and him trying to explain his point as to why I should agree with it, but I never did agree with it. But we're walking around, it's super cute, like super tumblery, like, oh my god, it's like a little chilly outside. It's like fall vibes, but it's totally April right now. And we're gonna walk around this cute forest and hold hands. And when I get cold, you're gonna put your jacket on me. It was like totally that. That's all things that happened. Edwin, you were so pure, but just so not for me. We get back into the car because it gets really cold in April. For some reason, it just got super cold that day. And so we get back into his car and we like turn on the heat and then start listening to music. And I throw on one of my favorite songs. It is called Big Jet Plane by Angus and Julia Stone. And let me tell you, this song is so good. Like, right? Good vibes. I start playing that song as we're like sitting there talking, basically just because like I didn't want to hear his voice anymore, because he literally was still continuing with the positivity seminar and it had already been 30 minutes of wasted breath on it. I play it and I look over at him and he's literally like and I'm literally like, what the, like, no, like what I was just doing, that's what he was doing. And like I turn over and I'm like, you good? Like, what's on your mind? And he was like, I'm just so happy right now, I could cry. And that is the moment. Like, tape recorder scratch, pause at my facial reaction, and it was, yep, that's me. Total that moment. And without a split second to like breathe, I just spit out, please take me back to my car right now. So he takes me back to my car. The entire time I'm blasting music because I don't want to hear his voice anymore, like at all. He dropped me back off in my car. He was like, we should do this again. I was like, maybe. Jumped in my car, got Chick-fil-A to cleanse my sins, and then the next day told him it wasn't gonna work out. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. I know I got pretty deep, pretty brutal, but that's what I'm trying to do on this channel. I'm trying to lessen my filter as I continue because I want my comedy to be as genuine as the things running through my head. I mean, like, to an extent, but yeah. I love anybody who watches me because, like I said, I have 25 subscribers, and check back next week for a video. I will see you guys in my next one though. Bye.